everyone, and welcome back to Not Weave Stitch. My name is Gisela, and this week we're going to be talking about preparing for the festive season with fibre arts. I can't believe we're already in November. I feel like the start of this year went very slowly, and now the last few months have absolutely flown by. But this is my favourite time of the year running up to Christmas, and I think this is such a lovely time to start making some handmade gifts and decorations and enjoying this really cosy period of the year. So today I'm really going to talk about how we can get prepared for Christmas. Us crafters may have already started way back in the summer. Basically, the sooner the better with this, but now is a really nice time to kind of get cozy and to get everything ready to make sure that it's done on time for Christmas. So for me, I love this time of year. I find it so cozy. It brings some warmth. I find it's quite mindful to be able to do a bit of fibre arts at this time. Especially, I personally like to pop on either a Christmas film in the background or some Christmas music while I'm crafting. Of course, I'll have some candles on in the background as well, give that nice festive kind of scent. So this is a great time to get started. We don't want to leave it too late. I always think if you kind of get to December, you might be leaving it too late. So I like to start now or sooner, and I'm going to be talking how to get planning and some craft ideas as well for the festive season. So when planning ahead, we want to think about how much we're taking on. I take on far too many projects, so we need to set ourselves some realistic goals. So think about what your priorities are. Do you have to make gifts? Is there any decorations that you'd like to do? Have you got maybe a Christmas party or anything coming up where you need to make some decorations ready for that? So prioritize your goals, because you don't want to do something that's not as important and then the most important thing gets left behind. So I think kind of prioritizing and not taking on too much is the main thing here. And you might want to start making kind of timeline and list of what you need to do and what you need to make. So maybe start doing gifts in early November, then decorations coming in at the end of November, beginning of December, but give yourself enough time. So I would make a list of things of who you'll be making gifts for, what gifts are you going to make as well. You want to think about the decorations. Are there any decorations for yourself that you need to make? And you want to sort these out by time required. But the main thing as well is have fun. You don't want to start getting stressed with these things. It's just not worth it. Christmas can be very, very stressful anyway. So we want to try and bring a little bit of joy into it. So if we can get organised now, that's really going to help. And maybe think for next year, if you can get organised even sooner. I know it might sound a bit crazy to start in summer, but it can really help, particularly if you've got a small business. You do really want to start sooner. But I start kind of thinking about Christmassy things even in September. So I'll start making little projects and working my way up until the kind of beginning mid-December. It depends on really what projects I'm doing. But the sooner you can get organised, the better it will be. And then you can just enjoy the process. There's no time pressure. You can just enjoy doing your craft. Now, there are so many different Christmas fibre art ideas, and I will be talking a lot more about those in another episode. But just to kind of get the creative juices flowing, to give you some ideas, there are so many ornaments that you can make out of fibre arts. So you can do pom-poms, you can make all sorts of different macramé decorations, so snowflakes, stars, little mini Christmas trees, little mini wreaths, lots of macrame ideas that you can do for Christmas. For crochet and knitting, you can make coasters, hats, Christmas stockings. You can even do crochet or knitting decorations as well. With needle felting, I like to make little needle felt characters for wreaths, but you could also make little pins or keychains, which can be really cute gifts. For embroidery, you can hand stitch little tags, or you can do napkin decorations as well, or you can even do tiny little hoops that you can hang up as little decorations on your Christmas tree. And these don't have to be really extravagant projects. The main thing to think about here is quick options. If you're running out of time, or if you've got quite a busy life, we want to think of really good quick options and kind of time-saving ideas. So is there a craft that you can do, like batch crafting, so you can make several ornaments at once? So something that's really simple that you can do over and over again. Or is there a craft that's quite small in scale? So like the embroidery ones, you don't want to take on a huge project. Can you do maybe a very tiny embroidery hoop or a very simple decoration on a napkin, just to make it nice and simple and doesn't take too much time? So I'm just trying to think, don't get too overwhelmed. Keep the ideas as simple as possible. And then, like I said, for next year, you can go more extravagant, but you might want to get started a couple months sooner. So because we're already into November now, we want to think on some quick and easy ideas. We also want to think about how we can budget. How can we save money and how can we be sustainable with our crafting? So I've just recently gone through all of my boxes of bits and pieces to see what I've got left over. And I found so many little bits and pieces. I've found lots of yarn scraps. So that is what I'd recommend. Have a little sort out. Now's the time to have a sort out through all of your cupboards and see what you've got. And if you do have any leftover yarn or fabric scraps or ribbons, you can reuse it. Reuse it in all of these ideas. You know, if you're making some yarn decorations, if you need to maybe stuff little crochet or knitting characters, you can use yarn scraps for that. If you have any random little embellishment pieces, you can use them up. So if you've got any leftover beads or, I don't know, berries from a wreath, you can reuse them in your projects. You can stick them on, you can sew them in. It's a really good way to use up all of those random little bits that we seem to gather up. So that's what I've just done. Gone through all of my little boxes of all sorts of random bits and pieces that I've had from last year, and I actually have quite a bit, so it's a great way to use those up. And if you can use it also for maybe gift wrapping, if you've got quite a lot of fabric that you can maybe wrap some presents in fabric, if you've got leftover cord or ribbon that you can reuse for this year to make ribbons and bows, that could be absolutely fantastic to save yourself some money and be sustainable as well. So try to reuse as much as you can and make it handmade rather than going out and having to buy stuff. It's amazing how much stuff we actually have left over around the house. So reuse as much as you possibly can, and it will save you so much money. And it also is so much better than for the environment as well. And lastly, to make it enjoyable, like I said, we don't want to get stressed about it. We want to enjoy crafting. So try and think about making a cosy crafting space. So think about some cosy lighting. Do you have some lovely fairy lights? Do you have a mood light? Could you pop on some candles? Bonus points if it's got a lovely festive scent as well. Maybe set up some music in the background or pop on your favourite festive film. You can even pop on those channels where they have like a fireplace, a crackling fireplace in the background, or maybe like a wintry scene, which can be quite nice as well. Grab yourself a hot chocolate, a nice tea, coffee, whatever it may be, and a nice snack as well to keep you energised through your craft as well. You can make it part of a holiday tradition. So maybe, if it's not too stressful, maybe making a crafter evening with some friends or family. It can be a really nice activity to do together, you know, wreath making, do a bit of knitting together, have a chat while you're doing it, you know, invite people round, make some drinks and some snacks or something like that. And that can be a really nice activity to do together. If you don't want to feel maybe so isolated, you could always do your crafting with friends or family. And it's really a nice time of year to slow down and reconnect with your creativity. I know it's so easy to get caught up in the whole craze of Christmas and having to run around and do lots of bits and pieces, but now's a really good time to slow it down, kind of think of like a hibernating time where we want to take it nice and slowly, prioritize ourselves, take it nice and easy, enjoy the crafting that we're doing and get really cozy. So just to recap over that, the key points are plan earlier, the earlier the better. Keep it nice and simple. If you can batch make or make the projects nice and small, it will help. And try to enjoy the process. Create an environment where you feel nice and cozy and you can enjoy the crafting that you do. Feel free to let me know what you're planning on making for Christmas. Is there a particular handmade gift that you're making? Are you planning on making any fibre art decorations for yourself? Let me know because I'd love to hear your ideas. If you needed a few inspiration ideas and some step-by-step tutorials, I have my YouTube channel, which is under Gisela Nartin, and I am now uploading all of my Christmas videos, so if you'd like to use those to help you along to make your own decorations or gifts, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. And we also have a Patreon that follows along with this podcast under Not Weave Stitch, which is a great place for the community to get together where we can have a chat about what we are crafting and making. And you'll also get your name in the thank yous of these podcast episodes as well for contributing to this podcast. So as ever, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next one.